is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Today I got to talk about the Niners' loss to the Chiefs last week, and I'm going to talk about the game coming up against the Rams this week. The game against the Chiefs kind of went how I predicted. I mean, pretty much I knew the Niners had a bunch of injuries on defense, and they weren't going to be able to stop Pat Mahomes, and it was going to be a scoring fest all day. And I was right. The Niners' defense gave up 44 points. They gave up 423 passing yards to Mahomes, 3 touchdowns. They gave up 3 rushing touchdowns. They just couldn't stop them. They were just doing whatever they wanted all day. Juju had over 100 receiving yards. Valdez-Scantling had 100 receiving yards. Kelsey had 98 receiving yards. They were just doing whatever they wanted. They had 115 rushing yards total. Although with those 3 touchdowns, although they weren't really rushing it down their throats like that, but it was enough to keep moving the chains. I know the Niners defense is banged up. They did get Jimmy Ward back last week. And they did get Bosa back last week, as well as Charkandrick Ward. He played. But I know Mosley's out, so they were getting torched over the top. Hufanga had an interception. That was nice. He's playing like a baby Palomalo. He's been a really nice player this year. Ever since that blocked punt in Green Bay last year in the playoffs, he's been a really nice player. Aside from that, man, the Niners, their defense is still playing well with all the damn injuries, and aside from the 44 points being scored, they're actually playing decent still. But that's aside of the point. I mean, there's no way, no one's stopping Mahomes right now, so it's not the 49ers. The whole league can't stop them, right? Now, I'm going to go over to the Niners side of the ball, which is similar, and you're going to see some eerie similarities to the Super Bowl a couple years ago when they played, right? We'll start with Kyle. What the hell? He started off by running the ball a bunch on the first drive in the first half, and then all of a sudden abandoned the run, just like he did in the Super Bowl a couple years ago. And Jeff Wilson Jr., he's, to my notes, he had 7.7 yards per carry. McCaffrey had 4.8 yards per carry. And I know McCaffrey wasn't going to be used a ton because he didn't know the playbook like that. But still, come on, you have other backs you can use. I know Juice got hurt in the game. But, I mean, you got backs you can use, and Shanahan's, they can use anybody. They can get a Denny's waiter off the street, and he can run 1,000 yards. They're like that with running backs. That's why I really don't understand the McCaffrey trade. But we'll see. Going back to the Niners defense, I know Greenlaw got hurt, and that's why Kelsey and the middle of the field was open. And Mosley's hurt, so, they were able to torch him over the top a bunch, too. That we saw that happen. They were only able to punt once, KC. But you know what? Here's some weird numbers, right? The Niners only punted the ball 1 time. The Niners had they owned time of possession. Only if they had 10 penalties. That's the thing. There's mistakes. But get this, 72 plays. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place right now. 72 plays to Kansas City's 56. 8 downs, 8 for 14. Those are numbers you usually see when you win. You own the time of possession. You have way more plays than them. You have a good third down percentage. You're running the ball pretty well. Unfortunately, the turnovers and the penalties cost them. And abandoning the run. I don't understand it. That was the game plan. You got to keep the ball away from Mahomes. It doesn't matter which team you are. That's the game plan. Keep the ball out of his hands, man. He only needs 1 minute to score anyway, so that already makes it hard enough, right? And then again, the Niners will get 1 sack. Now again, I know they have a lot of defense injuries, especially on that line. But Mahomes, he didn't even get touched. You can't win if you only get 1 sack on the guy. And he's mobile and he's strong and he's big and all this. But again, that's the way you got to beat him, is you have to get pressure. Otherwise, he's going to sit there and pick you off all day just like he did. But I want to talk about next week. Let's talk about some positive things. On to next week. Niners, we play the LA Rams next week. We know Kyle usually wins that matchup. He's got their number and has had their number the last 5 years. Again, he's got to stick with the game plan. Run the damn ball. Christian McCaffrey, it looks like he has the whole playbook open to him. So this is going to be nice. And this is how they beat LA. They'll go side to side every time. Stay away from Aaron Donald. Wherever he is, go to the opposite side. Run it with Deebo. Run it with Ayuk. Run it with McCaffrey. Run it with Wilson. Mitchell's not supposed to be coming back till after the bye. But still, you just get everybody involved. Kittle, he can block, he can catch, he can go play action. I think the Niners are going to win this. LA is 3-4, Niners are 3-3, so they're about even right now. But LA is not looking too good. Let's look at the Niners' injuries real quick. It looks like Juszczyk is not going to play. Greenlaw, I'm not sure. He's questionable. Deebo Samuel is a big one. He's questionable with a hamstring injury. He may not play. We'll get an update later in the week. Aziz Al-Shair, it looks like he's going to come back after the bye. Elijah Mitchell, same thing. He'll come back after the bye. Now, Javon Kinlaw is out, and Eric Armstead is out. That's a big one because Eric Armstead, when he plays defensive tackle, the Niners have the number one rush defense in the NFL. So I know the Rams' run game isn't that good anyway. So we'll see. I think the Niners will be able to contain them. Like I said, they still play a fairly good defense even with all these injuries. They just have to keep Cooper Kupp in front of them. He can't get behind them for deep plays. That's for sure. And Gerald Everett's a decent tight end. Allen Robinson, he's got some speed. He can get behind you. So, if you contain these guys, get some, thank goodness that Matt Stafford can't run like Mahomes. He's a statue back there. So, if the Niners get pressure, if they play it like Jimmy is a game manager and not a quarterback that you can win a game on his arm. He's got to manage. Play him like Eli Manning in 2007 or something when he beat Tom Brady, right? Something like that. Make sure you play defense and run the ball first, right? And I think they got this. I have the Niners winning 24-16 over the Rams this week. All right, y'all. Have a good one. Stay safe. Take care. God bless. I'm out.